I think that this is our job. And in a society, we should be reactive. Sometimes I'm in a bus and I see somebody, I say that, can you help you? What happens? Something happened to your life, and do you need something? And we can do this with all of the people around us. And we should really avoid to be a robot.
Right.
This is the things that unfortunately it's becoming day by day. We are, like the robotic life, and we should avoid it.
With internet, things have changed rapidly over the past 10 years. And at some point, it is a blessing. But in another aspect, we are having way too much information than we have to. And what I found is it makes people indifferent. And it's like what you're saying, we should care. We should stop being like a robot. But maybe it's the internet, maybe it's the new century, I don't know. A lot of much elder people in China, they have been talking about how they miss the old eras because everything was so slow.
Yes, of course.
We get focused on one thing, one thing only. And other times we're going back into our life with our family, with our friends, and with our neighbors. And everyone has this social connections.
Exactly.
But now people are locked in their home.
Yes.
I was meant to ask you because with your background, they told me you're from Iran.
Yes.
And we are from a country that is very much similar with the female status.
Yes.
I do think that China's society has grown over the years, but it's still in our blood. We were trying to open a project before we come here. We were trying to help girls in the mountainside because I think in the big city it's very equal now. People, especially women's awareness are much higher now. But in the mountains, it's not because the lack of education. Yeah. So
this is education.
So we were opening a project especially for female that we called it the Sunrise Girls. You are such a great role model for that. So for a girl like you, a little girl that is in Iran and you have worked through your way to become this, successful, powerful human being, not just female, your soul, I can feel it is very strong. How do you do that?
But first of all, I really appreciate, and it's a very, very good job that you started to do. This is all of the countries. We need to help the people. Females sometimes they need more help. For example, in Iran also. But I think that we should tell them that the life is easy, and there is not a formula that it is correct for all of the people. Somebody who's living in the mountains, the lifestyle is different. And sometimes if we encourage them to be like a lady who is born, for example, in Shanghai or, for example, other city, sometimes it's difficult for them, and they found the things that is a paradox things, and they started to quarrel with their family. They cannot stay there, and so we should really appreciate their lifestyle, and only we give them the opportunity to benefit the good things that exist in the other part of the world. It means that for them, education is the first. And this is in my family. It is something that my father, he was a professor. He had a very big, association from my birth. That this association, it was to help the children of the prisoners for education. And among them, instead of having the drug dealers, or for example, I don't know, the thieves or the people like that, we have the professors, we have the doctors, we have the engineers, only for education. Because my father was their father. And I think that the education is first.
Yes.
So you should encourage them to educate, and this education give them some way. They can discover the world.
Yes.
And by discovering the world, they can find their way. Yeah. But we should encourage them that do not forget your family. you are a human. Because sometimes it happens that we give some for example, possibility and opportunities to some persons, and then they will lost.
Yeah, they get lost.
Yes. So we should give them the opportunity to grow, and they should select according to their needs. Education and discovering the world. Something that behind these mountains, you know, this is very, very important.
Yes.
I totally agree with you, because the psychologists, they believe that the speed of the technology is higher than the capacity of the human in this century.
Yes.
And because of this, we have the very strange psychological pathology these days. And by this way, for example, sometimes we can put our telephone, aside.
Yes.
I started to send the paper cards to my friends, not message. And one of my friends, because he had the baby, he called me and started to cry. He told me that we received a lot of electronic things as a congratulation. And you from France, you send me a card, a paper card. And it is wonderful for me. I touch it, and this is your handwriting inside. And sometimes, I prefer to call the people instead of sending the message. As you told, sometimes we should go back through the normal life, and we should slow down the speed a little. How many messages per day we receive, how many emails we receive, how many, we should control it. Sometimes we go down to your, for example, followers. For 3 days, I'm off. Nothing will happen.
Oh, I need that.
No, really, because by this way you can show them that sometimes in your life you should slow down the speed.
Yes.
Because this attack sometimes really can destroy us.
Yes. I have 2,000 messages per day on average, all the time. So my life is on nonstop, and he's the kind of person who can throw it away.
Yeah,
I think it's a very powerful thing that he throw away everything and just go back to his life. What am I feeling now, and what do I want? He has the ability to do that. I don't.
I think that we should really think that the life is easy and the life is beautiful. We should really find the small points easy to make us happy and make the other people happy. Yes. We should be generous for that. For me, it is a generosity. That, for example, it started with my appearance, my perfume. It happens a lot of time for me in the taxi, in the supermarket, in the shopping, that you smell very good. And okay, you like it? This is the brand. You can buy it.
I just want to ask you.
Yes. Why not? We should really avoid to be a robot. This is the things that all the time I try to.
That's such a great angle, though. I have never thought have more generosity.
Yeah.
That's a very special angle for me, because I've never thought about having a good life, putting up your makeup and having dressed. It's that, but it's actually the anchor of it's the soul core of social media. Like what you said, we are having all this little joyful moment in life that we have to gather, and we are losing that.
And I love it. They transformed the very, very ancient and old chateaux, castles, to for example, the very modern things to do, for example, the meeting for the companies. When you arrive in your room, there is no TV, there is no internet, everything is bio. And by this way, I was on my bed, there is no internet connection, so I turned off my phone, and I started to think about the life. What happened, for example, the last 5 years of my life, the people that I lost, the new people in my life. For example, a problem on relationship between me and one of my friend for many years ago, and it's the time to call him or her. And something is bring bring you something that maybe you have done a mistake.
You know,
And if you're in a speed of an attack of the social media, one day you will be sick.
yes.
You have 2,000 messages per day. Who will answer it? I had the very bad COVID. I was dying. And this philosophy, it came from that time. Because for 16 days I was in a intensive care. I went to Iran to save my father. I lost my father, but it was in the beginning of the COVID. I was hospitalized on the same bed of my father, the same bed that every day I was with him, the same bed in a hospital, because it was full, all of the hospitals, and it was full. And imagine which types of emotion I had at that time.
Yes,
It was
overall,
awful,
yeah.
but and I was dying. I saw that every single moment the people die, they're 37, 40, 42. And I was waiting for die, And one day I decided to be alive. You cannot imagine. I told that, okay, everybody is upset. They think that I will die. But I'm against it. It's my husband and my son that I've waiting me in Paris. The first thing that I've done, I ordered a dress on the internet. And I told myself that I go there and I will take it. The second, I send an email to my colleague, and I told him that, Karim, from tomorrow I will participate all of the meetings, even with all of the things that it was, to insist that I'm alive, and I'm positive, I can do something. And the third things that I have done, I asked my brother to bring, I sent a message to bring my, makeup package. And I asked them to wash me, and I started to do the makeup by very, very weak hands. And I put my lipsticks, I put my shadow, something, I was very weak. And the first thing that I have done, I took a picture with my very weak hands, and I sent it to my husband, to my son, and to my friends. And I told them that I will come back, I'm sure. And my enzymes, it was like this, I was dying, really I was dying. The next day, they told me that the enzymes stop. Next day, it decreased epsilon, very small, and then it started to decrease.
Wow.
And it is me to decide to be alive. Yes. And the others, I saw in their eyes that they are upset. I saw the people, they accept that they are dying. I didn't accept that. And I would like to tell that it is a wonderful experience in my life. One day I will write this experience. I will write it, I'm sure. But it is wonderful experience that even we can postpone our death if we want. And the human being has a strong, very strong power.
Yes.
We should only believe it. We should only believe to this power, and we can win.
It's such an inspiring story, and there are this interesting, different part of people in China. They don't believe destiny.
Yes.
There's a specific word that's saying my destiny it's controlled by me. It's not controlled by God. And there's another ancient saying that surrender to life. To accept everything that's have come to you and let it pass through you. So it's a very different philosophy. Do you think that there's a conflict between that?
No.
Not at all.
No.
I'm a very, very spiritual person. It means that for me, the religion is the things that human being made to be happy. It means that it is not something that has come from God. I read a very nice article that it was on the animals, how they can survive. And the last part of this article, it was on the human being. And it showed that the society there are more religions, they have more hope. Yeah. And their lifespan is longer. So why not? Why not? If even it is not exist, I do it, I try it. We should put the people to choose, because I'm a spiritual person, I'm believing, My husband is atheist. He's a big materialist. So my son asked me that, which way is good? Which way is better? And I answered him that, choose. Look at me and your father. And which path make you feel better? Please take it. Because me, I'm believing, and I think that this belief maybe saved me for COVID and saved me in the other difficult, moment of my life. But, I think that this is only, the dogmatism is the very bad things of the human being. If I, for example, I'm believing and somebody tell me that God does not exist, I should not tell them that, no, this exists, I know that, no. And even, for example, the other people also, I tell to my husband, if somebody told you that God exists, you can tell it, maybe. I'm not believing, but maybe. So we should avoid also dogmatism. The people that they think that all the things in their head is correct. No, this is not true. Everything is, really very estimative. Everything can be true or not.
Yes.
We should accept everything. So I think that's something that is very important, as I mentioned to you. It is generosity and this is flexibility. So if you are flexible and you can imagine that maybe you do the mistake and maybe the people in front of you, they are right, everything would be life. The life is very, very beautiful.
I'm trying to learn that because I read the book actually about this. That
maybe I'm wrong.
The title was Maybe I'm Wrong.
It is difficult, but really every day, you're very younger than me, but every day we can learn from every little things in the nature. Even the animals, even the insects, they can give you some lessons. And even the things that we know, because I'm a pure scientific person and I prove the things. But if in front of me is another scientist to tell me that, Ferial, no, you're wrong, I have the place for him or her. And because of this, I have a very good relationship between my equivalent persons in the other companies, in the competitors. And the competitors, they don't see me like an enemy. This is my philosophy. When I come here, because in marketing, this is something very, very frequent that the people, they kill the competitors.
Yes.
My philosophy and all politics is not that. I told them, they do their job. I prove that we are very good. And by this way, we don't need to kill the others. The people, they come toward us because we prove that we have the very nice scientific base, products. And by this way, we do not need to kill and this is the right and correct competition. It is not the dirty competition. The dirty competition, you will kill the others to go. But this is not good, and you cannot do it sustainably. Our publications is the reference for the competitors. They look at our studies. They look at, even sometimes we are not very bigger than them, because some of them, they are the very big pharmaceutical companies, but we are small, but we are in the right place. And for me, this is my philosophy of my life also. Sometimes, for example, you cannot stop the others. You're on the way, and every single moment there is a new person's, new brands, new things that it come up. And if your sensors would like to analyze all of it, it can be exhausting for you and even for the people in front of you. And we should pay attention to that. We are not the prophets. We cannot save all of the world.
Yes.
In front of us is a group, and if we are effective on this group, is enough.
Yeah.
And we should really sometimes define our own limit. What is our limit? We should go to, I don't know, to the eternity. It's not possible. Our body has a limit. Our brain has a limit. Our emotions has a limit. And if we consider all of this, that this is very important for us and for the people also. Because in front of us, they are the young people that they inspired from us. And if we see that, for example, even you are a very successful, influencer, and you influence the people, and your mission is very, very, more important than me, because in front of you, I don't know, millions of the people. So by this way, you can transfer sometimes that, please, off your mobile for 2 days. All of us, we do this and that and that. For example, some things that all the day I would like to ask you is giving the gift. How many gifts we receive that never we use? And now I started a philosophy in my country, in Iran, because there are many people in the prison that they are prison because they were poor. And they couldn't pay, for example, they bought something and they couldn't pay it, because in the system in Iran that they give the check, and this check they should pay it, and then they cannot, so they go to the prison. And I ask my people, my friends, that every time that you want to buy something for me, go and release a person in a prison. And it is wonderful. One day, the first time that I decided to do that, one of my friends came from Iran, because every time they bought the very expensive things, silver, gold, something that really I don't need it. And then she gave me a paper rolled like this. I opened it and I start to cry, because it wrote that, dear Dr. Ferry Alfanian, thank you. You release one person, for example, from a prison after 4 years, and can you imagine that instead of having this glass in gold or in in silver, I put a father in front of the children, and it's only we should think to do the positive things in our society. I don't know that this is the same thing in China or not. This is not a problem maybe in China. You can really think about the things like that also, to encourage the people to do the nice job.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to do this
Yes.
year.
I totally agree. We try to do charity this year, and when you talk about charity, because when you talk about charity, it's such a big word for us. We are very unfamiliar to. We have our social status have rised, in the past 2 or 3 years. That's out of our imagination. So we're trying to give back to the society that doing charity, but we're so unfamiliar with that. A lot of times you feel it's not really for the world. It's really for yourself. You can feel it. It's very different.
Bravo. This is the things that the influencer they should do.
Yes.
When in millions of persons in front of you, and you can ask them to do the very nice things. You should, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy to have you today. This is a part of, and even if I can do something in your charity, in your projects, I'm with you. Yeah. You can count on me.
Because
I will call you all the time, Dave.
In my experience, I think that we help people from others' opinion, but actually we get helped. Because when I'm in young age, I've been to Thailand.
The borderline of
see the refugees.
It's like a war zone, I guess.
Yes.
He went to the war zone.
I went to there and teach the children for about a month, and I think that's experience that changed my life.
Yes. From the beginning, 2009, from here till now, I'm the president of and vice president of 2 associations that they help the refugees in. One of them, they called me, I don't know, some years ago, and he told me that the same, professor of your son, my son is in the same school, and he told that I'm very happy you are the second Iranian person that is very good, very hardworking. The first thing that I asked this family, it was with two children of 4 and 6 years old, because I bought some toys for them the first meeting, and the girl accepted, but the boy not. He has done like this, and I told him that you don't like the cars, and he told me he do like that, and I asked why, I told him that I need a house. I need a room for myself. And when I helped them to have this house, when it's finished, we furnished it. I kept the hands and I told him that I promise you, this is your house, this is your room, but you have an engagement for me. You should work hard and you should help the others. This is the chain that we can keep. I'm very sorry, this is very emotional for me, but this is the life. And really we should respect it. The life is beautiful and is simple. This is the things that we should, thank you so much. This is the things that we should,
Miss it.
this is the things that we should respect. And I'm very happy to be with you today because you remind me the very nice things in my life. Even it was difficult, but it was the very nice experience in my life. And I'm honored to have this experience, even it was difficult to pass.
关注小狗，关注的变美哦。